Hey, what's going on everyone? Supreme Com here. So in today's video we're going to be talking about stats. So we are looking at the alternated version of the double quanti and then the Gundam Proto Zero, whatever you call it. So on the side I should have displayed it the double quanti stat over here, double quanta. So we will start off with double quanta with 9 parts to go through. So I will try to make my way through them as fast as I can, not to like stall too long to talking about them. So if you guys are seeing the stat right now, obviously the shot attack is nowhere to be found in the top 20s. All right, mainly focusing on the the melee stat over here. But let's go on with the head over here. So you guys can see it is ranked number 3. I think it just passed what was the Double Sky. I think Double Sky head is still a little bit more better value than this one over here. So stat is rank 3, but let's talk about the portrait over here. Obviously this portrait over here is geared towards like a supporting type because you have like infighter with infighter job, enemy shooting power reduced up to 30%. So right out the bat, the first portrait is really not gonna benefit you overall if you guys are wanting to like bust out like really high damaging numbers. But with the second portrait, attacking with physical, so this is restricting it to physical. EXQ power by boosted by 35%. That is good, right? But you're limited to physical, like maybe physical melee attacking weapon, and then your EX skill as well. It's not too bad. We do have numerous really good physical EX skill, so this one is pretty good. It's just that it's a little bit let down by the first portrait. But if you guys do want to alternate this one, you can obviously subslide this into, you can put it in Barbados Lupus Rex. I think that's a better option as of now, because I think Lupus Rex does have a pretty high melee attack stat as well. I'll probably display a few if I can find. If I don't personally own it, I won't show like the full picture like this over here. If I do personally own it, I'll show that. If not, I'll let you guys know which other part you can slot this guy into. Other than that, let's talk about the chest over here. The chest is gonna be ranking really low tier. So this one is the EX skill, which is a quantum burst over here. This is not something you really need to alternate per se, because like I think even before alternation, I think it has a pretty high armor recovery to your squad already. In terms of like racing melee and shot defense, I don't think that really matter as much in a way, because this one, quantum burst, will probably be used in like your third machine if you guys are doing like arena, for example. I don't think you really want to put this on like your main build. Maybe for like, I don't think this would be pretty good. Maybe good for battle circuit, but putting this on like battle circuit would be a little bit too pricey. You know, going through all those resources, like upgrading it and whatnot. But this pretty good. This one pairs your armor and it's charged GM particle. The animation wise is gonna look pretty cool, not gonna lie, but I wouldn't alternate it just because of this awakening over here. Good war tag as well. You have high mobility and pro tag over here, really nice. All right, moving on to the arm over here. So the arm is ranked number 2. really good, just right behind the T build project T type Shining Gundam arm. This is really good, like high melee stat, high melee defense. That's all you need, right? In terms of portrait, when attack, when pro tech is active, melee power boosted by 30%. Yes, like that part, right? Keep going. Second portrait, when attacking with physical, again restricted with being physical, melee crit raised by 40%. I said this many times, crit are not really like relevant in this game unless they find ways to like make it more viable. So this is like a waste of space again. So you can obviously put this on your main build and then subslot something like maybe like a 1-to-100 alternation arm. I think there's plenty. Like, let's actually check. Just a quick sidetrack over here. Let's do this. I think L-Strike would be a better option. Yep. L-Strike has a pretty good portrait over here. Like same, like this is not restrictive, so you can be attacking with beam physical. You will get the melee power boosted. This one enemy down, and then one enemy shot down, reduce cooldown by 50%. This is always gonna be viable, but crit is probably gonna be really RNG-ish. So you can self-slot this one because I think you guys should have received one of the coins to change it back, like 2-3 weeks ago. So that's one option over there. All right, moving on to the leg over here. The leg is gonna be rank 1 as of right now. Currently recording rank 1. That is really good. I really want to alt this leg, but I really shall take a look at the portrait. So the portrait is really excellent as well. So when you are attacking with physical, EX power boost by 30%. That's good, and that shot damage raised to 10%, and then you get another EX power boost by 35%. If you have to pick a part to alternate out of the batch, you want to go with the leg. Good word tag, good portrait. What else can you ask for, like, right? This is a perfect leg to like alt rank coming in rank number 1. Yep, this is it. If you guys ever do get the leg, this is the one part you want to alternate out of the Quanta over here. All right, moving on to the backpack over here, we have how high is this? This is onto like clothing into like rank 20. So this one will be pretty good to just put it on your skin. If you want to put this on like your main build or subsliders, I don't think it would be a good choice. Do you want to alternate it? Yes. This one I believe is a awakening EX, which means like if for example you like for like double series you use Transam, when you activate this backpack it will go into Transam, so that is the awakening. Like for example, if you are using like unicorn parts in your builds, the armor will open up into the NTD mode. That's what I think awakening EX skill does more damage overall, if I recall. Do let me know that. I think they do more damage. So you get a speed raise of 20% to your squad health recovery by 58 armors at max, and then you get another 29% melee attack raise to your squad. That's really powerful EX skill over here. But do keep in mind this EX skill does not perform a dash upon execution, so you're gonna have to manually like rush to your opponent before activating it. Don't think I'll just dash right up front, but no, you're gonna have to like manually swipe up, get to your closest enemy, and then hit the EX skill. Otherwise you're just gonna be standing there, so keep that in mind. Really good animation as well. Like that is a gift for alternation as well. Moving on to the GN Sword 5 over here. Stat wise is probably in the stat looking at rank number 9. No melee defense, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But in terms of good word tag as well, look at this. Another when attacking with physical, EX skill power boosted by 30%. That's good, right? And then melee damage raised 10%. And then you get another melee power boosted by 35%. So this is another really powerful EX portrait over here. But would you alt this one? The portrait is really good. You get high mobility and pro tag. If you guys don't have better beam saber option, this may not be a good option. I'll probably put a few other one that is like near or like on top of this GN Sword 5 over here, just a quick comparison. But overall, this is no lie, this is a pretty good, darn good EX skill, not EX skill, portrait over here. I will alt this one if you guys don't have any better option, but if you guys have like better option with like higher stats, I wouldn't really go out of my way just to like go through all the resources, put all the build marks and all that. But nonetheless, a really good portrait. Alright, moving on to the what do we have over here? The GN Sword 5 Buster Sword mode over here. So word tag wise, word tag we have high mobility, and then switch pro tag to close combat over here. Portrait, this one is excellent as well. While high mobility is active, melee power boosted by 30%, and then with speed attribute, initial EX charge boosted by 20%. So this is really viable. Anytime you see initial cooldown reduction, always good to go. So if you have to pick, I'll probably just pick one of these. Just because you will be able to execute your EX skill a lot more faster by having this reduction over here. So if you guys don't have any other reduction on your melee unit, or you need some, if you guys have the Buster Sword, it's good to go. Otherwise, I wouldn't really alternate it. and you guys have a lot of better option already. Moving on to the GN Sword 4 over here. 5 rifle mode over here. Why did I say 4? In terms of the melee stat, up to this guy is looking at rank number 1 for the rifle category. Wartech is looking at pie mobility and close combat again, which is pretty solid. And then portrait wise, first portrait is supporting role again with that enemy shooting power reduction 30%. Alright, and then when you have speed attribute, shooting power boost. What? Whoa, huh? Oh, wow, this one is supporting more on like the shot build instead of melee build. So this one don't alternate it. Even if you put it on like a shot machine, I don't think this one will be too viable because of how low the shot attack is. So this part is like a what? So don't alt this one. Alright, moving on to the last part over here. This is the GN Sword 5 Buster Rifle mode over here. So we have an EX skill over here. This is really similar to the Peacock Smasher from the X1 Full Cloth. Same, like pretty much the same animation, except for the fact that X1 does like a twirly spin at the end of the animation, while this one does not. So if you guys have the full X1 Full Cloth Peacock Smasher already, you don't need to alternate this one because it basically does the same thing. But if you want the stat, I would probably just go with this one over here. But then again, this portrait over here is just for shooting, so it's not going to be really good to run on your like a shot build. Yeah, stat is the same over here. So to conclude this, for the Kwanzaa, you will want to alternate. Obviously, if you have the leg, alternate the leg. Rank 1 currently, really good set of portrait, and then probably either or. Depending on the portrait selection, if you guys need one or the other, you can pick either GN Sword 4 or 5, or no, the Buster Sword or just the regular. For the rifle, I wouldn't recommend any, just because that this one, the rifle over here, does not really support like the melee build, so I wouldn't go out of my way to alternate that. For this one, it should do good damage overall, but if you have the X1 Full Cloth, like there's no point in alternating this one. So we're gonna pop to the Wing Zero now. Alright, now moving on to the Wing Gundam Proto Zero. So this is actually not in the actual animation of the Endless World, it's actually in the manga, so forgive me when I said, I think it was on my prediction video, like going over what we have for this week. I talked about that being in the actual Wing animation, so it was actually not. It was just kind of like a side thing they did. So anyways, let's talk about the parts over here. So if you guys are looking on the right hand side, obviously when you guys are seeing the stat, it's gonna be on the lower tier end. So so this is, you wouldn't, nothing really much to expect from this guy. Like the melee character, like melee side, don't even look at it, it's really bad. Alright, on to the head over here. Stat wise, this guy would come in at rank number 5, and then the portrait is really excellent as well. When you are limited to like a long shooter job, EX skill power boosted by 30%. So I think using a long shooter job for like a shot build unit is pretty normal, right? And then the second portrait, when buffed it, and then you get another EX skill power boosted by 35%. So when buffed it, it's like let me give a quick example if I can do let me go back up here. If you activate something like this, right, like for example I use the EX skill, and then you get this portion over here, you get like a melee attack race, so that's active, that's a buff over there. Upon that condition, then you'll be able to activate the second part of this portrait over here. It's really locked behind, you would say, unless you use a buff. But I think a lot of EX skill nowadays does have like a second effect that buffs like attack stats. So this one should be easy to activate nonetheless. So this one will actually be a really good piece of head over here. Just 2 weeks ago we have the Amazing Red Warrior. If you guys have the Amazing Red Warrior 2 dupes, I don't think you guys need to invest anything into this guy over here, because it's literally the same portrait, boosting the same thing. But I think for the Red Warrior, it was strictly to buffing shooting power. But regardless, shooting power really at the end of the day, at the end of the day, do transfer to like EX skill power boosted regardless. So if you guys have the Amazing Red Warrior, no need to worry about this head, because they have the same word tag as well. So Moving on to the chest over here. But if you guys don't have that, the head would be a pretty good option to alternate if you guys do pull the head. Alright, the chest over here is barely gonna come in at rank number 20. But this is just the ring, the zero system over here. So it's gonna raise your speed by 20%, and then you're shooting by 49%, and then you also become easier to target for that duration of 51 seconds. Probably not gonna be really. This one is not gonna be good for 1v1 because you are the only enemy. So this one will be pretty good for like multi-mission if you want to beat the one, if you want to lure the enemy in while your teammate or like fighting the boss. This will be a good option, but I don't think you want to waste like a EX skill slot just to have a wing zero system on. So you guys do have the chest, no need to alternate it because the stats are kind of bad or really bad, and then the EX skill doesn't really serve a good purpose overall. So I'm good work check as well. You have Ace exclusive and Gundam type over here, and then moving on to the arm over here. So all the arm actually does not make it into any. It's still up there, but like not like top enough where like you really need it. Looking at the portrait over here, we have another supporting role. When you are using T attribute, enemy melee power reduced by 30%. It's really standard over here. And then you have one attack with beam. This one is strictly restricted to beam. Shooting power boosted by 35%. This is good, but just like double quanta head, like you have kind of like a supporting role portrait, and then you have like a self buffing portrait over here. Like this is regardless not gonna be a good arm to alternate at the end of the day. Alright, moving on to the leg over here. Also, like the leg doesn't really rank too high as well. So in terms of the portrait over here, we are recently seeing a lot of these sword tag over here, like for the shooting, like for the shot build units over here. While Ace exclusive, long shot attack raised by 20%. So this is not gonna be good for like if you are using ranged weapon that are close range, like beam rifle or like bazookas. Those are not long range attacking weapons over here. So you want to be using like long rifle. So this is pretty restrictive as well, because if you are not in that proximity, I don't think you can activate that, right? Yeah, so this one isn't like nonetheless a okay portrait. And then if you look at the second portrait over here, this is when you are using ranged weapon, EX skill power boosted by 35%. So this is really general condition over here. Ranged weapon, obviously you gotta be using like your shot base at EX skills, so this one is pretty easy to satisfy. But there are a lot more better choices out there already, so I'll probably list out a few that I can think at the top of my head that do satisfy this condition over here. Good work as well. You have long range. I think long range can be a pretty sneaky option for a shot build. This is because of that it gets some shot defense, so that would in translate go towards your shot attack upon that change gear. So pretty nice pair of leg, I would say. Alright, moving on to the backpack over here. So the backpack is currently going to be ranked 3, so it's really high on the list of the shot category or the shot stat over here. So we have a EX skill here, a kissing EX skill. So really low power, right? Yeah, like really low power. So it's gonna be performing that final shooting like he did in the actual anime. Like I think from Analyst when he shot down the base, it's like the same attack, like what, I don't know how many degrees down was towards the ground kind of EX skill-ish. So nothing too splashy over here. So low power as well, like B+. B+ is good enough already, but no effects. Like look at this, no effect down over here. So if you guys do pull like the back of the wing prototype over here, you can probably just use it for cosmetic. I wouldn't really go out of my way just to alternate it, just because it's only B power and doesn't even have any effects. So alright, moving on to the juicy part of the kit over here is the weaponry over here. So currently the new rifle over here, I think held number 1 of the like the shot attack wise. I think like really close to like the build project double Z Gundam. That is yet to be reviewed by me. I'll probably do that right after this because we have a new unit this week. I just want to wait to see if anything's gonna take over this the build project double Z. So in terms of shot is really high up the list already. I might actually want to alt this as well, but like first portrait kind of ruins it for me, just because it's gonna get another shooting crits, which crits, like I said many times already, are not really too important in this game, so I don't want it. You are gonna get restricted over here with the backpack EX skill power boosted by 35%. So if you are not using any backpack EX skill, this will not be activated. Really good. High stat over here. I like the stat, but I don't like the word tag. So not the word tag, the portrait over here. So unfortunate. Really unfortunate over here. All right, moving on to our rolling buster EX skill over here. So if you guys currently own the rolling buster from the Wing Zero Custom, you have an alternation over here. This one indeed kind of replaced that one. I doubt anytime soon that one will get alternated, and then the stat for this one is obviously going to be a little bit more better, just because this one is the newer kit, and then the original Wing Zero Custom is on the older scale. So even up to alternation, I don't think the stat will surpass this one. So if you guys want a rolling buster for like multi-mission, I think this one is a pretty good pickup as well. I would personally upgrade this one, alternate this guy. Word tag wise, we are looking at ace exclusive and long range. Long range is becoming a little sneaky option right over there. Alright, the last part we will talk about over here, it's gonna be the shield. The shield is obviously right now currently ranked number 1. So if Reborn's Gundam ever get an alternation, I think it will take its place as being like top, one of the like high main selling point of the shield. Alright, in terms of the portrait over here, this portrait is really excellent. Again, when you are using a long shooter job, buff EXQ effects up by 22%. This is really powerful over here. This allows the percentage of your like buffs to be a little bit more higher, and then when you're using a backpack EXQ, that get boosted by another 35%. So if you guys will pull the shield, this one is a really good candidate for alternation. Alright, so for the Wing Zero, what is a good alternation is probably going to be the head, the shield, the rolling buster EXQ. I think otherwise the other one are a little bit more on the mediocre side. I wouldn't really go out of my way to alternate it. Maybe the leg, but like the leg has better option already, so this one is not going to be a good choice to alternate overall. So that being said, hopefully this a little bit of a breaking down these parts over here is helpful to you all, and then I will catch you guys on the next one.